the Nissan Patrol is now in its 74th year, which means na mas matanda pa ang SUV na ito than most of our viewers and subscribers. Now to continue that legacy, Nissan has created an all-new 7th generation model. Pero ang tanong ngayon, does the new Patrol have what it takes to challenge the almighty Toyota Land Cruiser 300? Yeah guys, so as you've probably seen naman, we're currently here inside the brand new Nissan Patrol. This is their latest flagship SUV, which basically competes with the likes of the Toyota Land Cruiser 300, Chevrolet Tahoe. But yeah, so you're gonna see from the outside, if you're gonna see the outside of this car, it looks really, really nice. I love how it manages to preserve some of the previous Patrols, I guess, heritage from the way it looks, but evolved this time around to have a much more modern and sleeker appearance. For example, with the C-shaped LED headlights, the bigger imposing grille, and the sculpted side profile, which you can now blend together with a black contrasting roof when you opt for the white version. You also have very nice details like the Nissan Patrol badging in the D-pillar, and you also have nice LED taillights, which gives this car a distinct glow at night. And then, basically from a design perspective, I think, I somewhat prefer the Nissan Patrol over the Land Cruiser 300. That's especially true, I think, when you step inside this car, because just look at the interior. It's filled with tech. It is starkly modern, I think, compared to the Nissan Patrol before, and of course, the Land Cruiser 300. Just take a look at these screens, these two large screens. This is basically the latest Nissan Connect infotainment system, which looks really nice. The graphics are very, very sharp. It also works really well, especially with the theatrical, by the way, na kanyang Klipsch surround sound system. It delivers a lot of punchy notes. Very nice yung sound quality ng sound system na ito. It really complements well with the car's luxurious interior, as you're gonna see with these leather materials all over the vehicle. You really have to dig deeper just to find an inch of hard plastic, but everywhere you touch, it's really a luxurious space to be in. You also have a large center console here na is also cooled, so may aircon vent dito sa ating large glove box here. You even have a since 1951 imprinted here sa kanyang satin silver trim surrounding the center console storage, and also the Patrol logo. Thankfully, despite having these two large screens, you still have an array of physical controls. So yun nga, you're gonna see here heated and cooled seats, along with their PRND na buttons here for the gear selector, and a rotary selector for the car's various drive modes. As you're gonna see, you also have this lovely panoramic sunroof. And if we're gonna move towards the back, of course, as expected in a car like this, it is very spacious, very luxurious, and you also have these two screens basically for the car's rear entertainment system. You can even connect there through HDMI or even Miracast. So if you wanna watch Netflix, gusto mong manood ng mga movies sa biyahe, this is gonna be a perfect car for you. You can even link Bluetooth headphones so you won't distract the driver, for example, or the other passengers. And then as for the third row, well, I'm gonna be reserving that for the full review of this car para meron kayong motivation to watch that review pa rin. And worth noting with the third row of this car is that those are also power folding and also power adjustable, which you can control through the car's infotainment system or through the buttons back there. Speaking of which, the cargo space back there is pretty good, especially because this is a full-size SUV. So yeah, it's practical, luxurious, filled with tech, and also mighty capable. Because yun nga, as you're gonna see, this car now gets a twin-turbo V6, replacing the previous V8. And also worth noting is that V6 engine, which by the way is a twin-turbo unit, is a Nissan VR engine. So, kung alam niyo yung Nissan Z, as well as the GTR, the Nissan Patrol's twin-turbo V6 is part of the same award-winning engine family. This twin-turbo V6 is also hooked up to a 9-speed automatic transmission that sends power to all 4 wheels. So now we're taking the Nissan Patrol on the road. How does this car feel like based on our first impressions? So yun nga, as mentioned, this car now gets a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6. And long straight here. That engine sounds nice actually. I love the sound of that V6. Pero that was still in eco mode. Let's put the car in sport mode. It's even more responsive. Actually, sobrang minimal na yung turbo lag niya at this mode. And the 10-speed automatic, based on my first impressions with this vehicle, the tuning I think is pretty good. It delivers the gears smoothly, performs really well. And just notice ngayon when I entered this corner, the steering also becomes heavier to give you that increased control when you're going through sweeping corners. So ito ngayon, these are sweeping corners. Yeah, let's put the car back ngayon to standard mode, ka ng default mode lang. One thing that I like about this Nissan Patrol is that despite na this car's body on frame, we're reaching a point talaga na even body on frame cars are starting to close the gap with monocoque or unibody crossover SUVs. The ride here is really nice. There's no shimmying from the chassis, or at least meron pa rin onte. Ang onte na lang shimmying niya from the car's chassis. Pero by and large, this feels pretty much nearly like a crossover SUV na yung kanyang refinement levels in terms of ride quality and also in terms of the vibrations all around the vehicle. Now, one of the stuff that Nissan wants to highlight with the new Patrol is that this car is one of the first cars in the Philippines to now come with Nissan Pro Pilot Assist. So that's basically their semi-autonomous driver assistance system. Basically, it's an advanced adaptive cruise control. So let's turn that feature on. Okay, that's really nice. Even stop the vehicle ng smoothly as well, kind of like a human. So, yan, naanda ng kotse sa harap. Yun nga lang, medyo ang wonky nung mga lane markings natin sa kalsada ngayon. So, the lane centering function won't work properly here. But, yun nga, as you're gonna see, with the stop and go function of this Pro Pilot Assist, it is driving the car really well. Kind of like a human despite being a robot managing the car's driving. So tayo na mag-drive ulit ng kotse na to, and let's feel how the Nissan Patrol performs. Yeah, we just went over a speed hump and it dealt with that with delicacy. By the way, this car comes with air suspension which can raise or lower itself, though it won't lower itself, for example, in sport mode, but rather the lower setting is mostly meant for easy access into the vehicle or for loading cargo at the back. It will raise itself up though at certain off-road modes, but yun nga, it won't lower itself when the car is in sport mode. Anyway, from a handling and ride perspective, ang maganda sa kanyang air suspension is that it deals with body roll pretty well. It's a big car, itong Nissan Patrol, and as we go through these corners and itong sa rotonda na ito, body rolls kept in check. I mean, it's still a heavy car na magagawa doon. It's a large, heavy vehicle. But as we dance this car to the corners, it's actually a pretty good car in terms of a handling perspective. And then, yun nga, as we exit a corner, yun nga, the twin-turbo V6 sounds really good. Ang ganda nung kanyang engine note for me. And despite being a smaller turbocharged engine compared to the previous V8, maganda yung banat pa rin niya. It feels like a locomotive, maganda yung relentless torque niya. Through a wide RPM band, ang lakas pa rin kanyang hatak even at higher RPMs. So that's pretty good despite being a smaller engine than before. Now they're straight. Yeah, that actually feels really good. I love this V6. I don't necessarily miss the V8. Granted, the V8 does sound good, pero yun nga, itong V6 from a power and torque perspective is actually better compared to the previous V8. And when the car is in eco mode, it is able to basically make the power delivery, or rather the gear changes, much smoother and much more laid back. Once again, syempre, to match with the car's appropriate drive mode. Yeah, usually with eco mode, ang sobrang neutered ng mga throttle ng mga kotse, but here in the Nissan Patrol, because it's so powerful in the first place, yung neuteredness niya, well, it's still powerful, let's be honest. And with eco mode in mind, anong fuel economy ng Nissan Patrol? Well, yun nga, this is just a first impressions drive and wala akong mabigyan na fuel economy numbers at the moment because, well, this is only a very short driving distance. But overall, yun nga, kung mapapansin mo, the Nissan Patrol is really a well-rounded car. Ang ganda nung kanyang driving dynamics. I like the nice agility from its body and frame chassis. Comfort levels are really nice from its air suspension, whilst offering a nice amount of body control despite the car's large size. The V6 is also buttery smooth, whilst also sounding really nice and delivering copious amounts of power and torque. It's a basically all-rounded package, especially when you consider the amount of tech and the luxury that you get with this car. Medyo unpopular opinion here, I think, but first impressions, I'm liking the Nissan Patrol over the Toyota Land Cruiser because itong interior pa lang, guys, just look at the interior. It's so nice, it's very luxurious, very high-tech as well, and also packed with intuitive tech. So how much does a brand new Nissan Patrol cost? Well, it retails for a little under 5.4 million pesos. About 400,000 pesos less than the Land Cruiser 300ZX. Then again, this car has a twin-turbo gas engine, so hindi niya talaga pwedeng tapatan yung kanyang chief Toyota rival. But, based on our first impressions, meron talagang laban itong bagong Nissan Patrol. Thanks to its very luxurious interior, highly refined on-road driving dynamics, not to mention the cutting-edge tech that this full-size luxury SUV offers.